This is Rap the News, and I'm going to come out and just straight say it. The truth is, they have been hiding hell. Because if you knew there was a hell besides the hell underneath our feet, you would pray. You wouldn't believe nothing that they said. You would do your investigative research like you see me doing. The truth is, no matter how crazy it sounds, there is a hell above our heads. Let's get into it. So the shadow of hell is passing over the moon right now. It is a red, fiery planet that's passing over, and it turned our moon blood red. And you can still see the shadows passing through the moon. And when the shadows pass all the way over, then the shadow, as you see the big planet, going past our moon. This is an actual eclipse. One more time, planet hell is passing by. It casts a shadow over the moon, and the moon turns red from its fiery self. And then it keeps going, and then the blood red moon disappears. A regular lunar eclipse is when it's not so close. So like we showed you the other day, you see the shadow passing, and the sun goes out when the shadow passes. Once again, the shadow is passing from left to right, and you see the sun go out as the shadow passes. They have lied to us about the lunar and solar eclipse, but guess what? They also lied about the moon phases, because when you're trying to hide hell, you can't tell people what's causing the moon to have these phases. If you are looking at the moon up close right now, you can see the shadow passing over the moon, just like it does with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse and the blood moons. So ladies and gentlemen, behold an illustration of the destroyer, planet hell. Now they say that the earth is heated and cooled by it spinning on an axis. You can turn anything to the side and spin it, and it's not going to heat or cool unless it was rubbing against something, so that's stupid. But we got this large rogue planet either behind the dome or somewhere where we cannot see it with our visual eyes. And this thing has two sides according to science, who said they spotted it out there, and it has a cool and a hot side to it, they said, and it is a stony planet. So if you look up Corot, C-O-R-O-T, the number 7B, then it's going to describe hell to you. A stone planet that's fiery on one side and icy on the other side. Okay, we're going to get into the scriptures about this in a second. So basically, the earth is not heating and cooling, and we are not getting the seasons because it's spinning on the axis. We are getting the seasons because as this thing goes around our planet, or up our planet, or as our planet spins around this, it cools and heats our planet. Because then explain global warming. This is global warming because it's moving in close. And guess what? Every time God destroys a place, usually it start experiencing drought. And here go your drought right here, And so let's get into the scriptures about it. We're going to go with Revelations 20:14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So, another Revelations, I believe, is 6:4 that said, hell is coming and death is following it, right? Hell is coming and death is following. I believe that is Revelation 6:4. Hell has always been underneath us, but where is the lake of fire at? On planet hell. And we're going to prove that by this man's dream.
What I saw was this very, very strange but dark looking planet, and it was very dark, black, like rusty looking, and I was like, okay, where did this come from? And I was like, what's going on? Why? Suddenly now I'm being pulled towards this planet, slowly, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't want to go near that. It doesn't look very good. It looks very creepy. And as I get closer and closer, the surface of this planet started to become more clearer, and it was like on fire, red hot, rusty looking planet. It wasn't like the sun, as tremendous heat, but it was like, you can tell, like it had the surface, and it was like lava and filling this whole planet, but with a lot of dark surfaces. And as I got closer and closer, then I could see that around the crust of this planet were huge, like volcano mountains that were kind of poking out of the crust. And on top of these volcanic mountains, it appeared to look like black figures. It looked like dark ash, but like smeared, like a sketch. But it was like of this person, figures of men or women, and they had their arms like waving up like this and stretching out towards the sky. And I was like, okay, I know where I'm going. This is hell. There's no way this is some random planet that is scary or some nightmare dream of I'm having it. This is hell. I know it's hell. I can tell by that. I didn't want to even go here. I felt like my spirit was like, no, I don't want to go here. Let's go back. I want to go back the other way, but I couldn't move. I was being pulled towards this place, and lava just suddenly spewed out, and it completely consumed these people, or these black figures, trying to escape the fire, but they couldn't. They were just stuck there, and there was nothing they could do. They were just stuck, and the fire and the lava was spewing out on this mountain, consuming them. And I was like, no, this is hell. I don't know why I'm going here. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't even be here. Why am I here? I kept saying to myself. And I think this was God pulling me into this place. And it took me a while to realize that, but then it became clear where I was going and that this was hell, I knew very well that this God sent me here. And as I got closer into the atmosphere of the planet was just like it was like a black lake, completely black. I couldn't see any light anywhere. It was just black lake of fire. And the lake was lit up by the lava which was spewing in the background, and the reflection cast light on this black lake.
If hell is cast into the lake of fire, it would have to be a place that can contain the whole earth. This planet, as compared to the sun and the moon, make it seem like a dime compared to a diesel truck tire. We're going to go with Ezekiel 38:22. And I will plead against him in his proven Coral 7b. I'm just proving what's being said, and then what we're feeling and seeing in the air, because this thing is causing red iron oxide, and basically that's causing sepsis, dust pneumonia, and diabetes because of iron overload. So Ezekiel 38:22. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and his bands and upon many people that are with him an overflowing rain of great hailstones, which are ice, large ice, fire and brimstone. This is not coming out of thin air, people. This is coming from what God calls the destroyer of the Gentiles, mentioned in Jeremiah 4:7. I call it planet hell. You could call it the destroyer, or whatever you want to call it, wormwood. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate. So the skies are red now. Iron oxide is killing the fish and everything else in the sea, because it causes the fish to have breathing problems and shit like that. Birds to drop out of the air, bees to crash because the highly magnetic field is screwing with them some type of way. And thy city shall be laid waste without inhabitants. See? So this thing is going to do what? It's going to come in, it's going to rain hailstones because it has an icy side, and fire and brimstones because it has a hot, fiery side. Job 15:21. A dreadful sound in his ears. What is that? All those strange noises that people have been hearing in the sky. So I've been showing people the red glow with the strange noises happening at the same time to let you know that I'm telling you 100% the truth. Everything has been centered around this planet hell that they've been hiding from you the whole time. It's probably why they need science because science ain't nothing but Satan's lie. So much of the truth surrounded by a big, huge lie. You know. So in prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him to do what? Make his land desolate, and his places laid waste, his cities. This lightning storm, which is planet hell, its magnetic charge or whatever is interfering with our planet, is knocking out the power grid worldwide. And pretty soon everybody is going to be in darkness. We know how the moon's going to turn red now. We know how the sun's going to be turned into a sackcloth black. It's already happening, people. We see it in front of our faces night and day. New school may think this is normal. We have never saw this in old school. This is not normal. This is the end of the world. That's what that is. So we know that they lied about the seasons. We know that they lied about the solar eclipses and the lunar eclipses. And we know that they are lying about the moon phases. This is how they know when the moon is going to turn red and when we are going to get eclipsed, because they've been watching this thing for a long time. But lastly, I'm just going to say this. And all those people believing in the false Christ, because I didn't prove that it was two Christs in the Bible. One is the devil and one is the actual Christ that was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Everybody worshiping that paganistic Christ, thinking they're going to get a free pass and get around God and lift your hands up. You have a 20-foot magnetic field around your heart. And I'm telling you the truth. So you heard the first man said he was lifted up and he was being pulled to that planet.
Suddenly now I'm being pulled towards this planet, slowly. And I'm like, what's going on?
Because when evil is in your heart, that planet is evil and is going to magnetically pull your ass straight to it. You can lift your hands up and say Jesus all you want to, but you finna burn in that motherfucker. And so we're gonna end with this woman, and that's it.
All of a sudden, there's another object, planetary object. I don't know if it's the moon or a different planet, but it keeps eclipsing the sun. And as it does this, the day is getting dimmer and dimmer. And finally, it eclipses the whole thing and day turns into night. Okay, just like that. Day turns into night. It's pitch dark. And out of the left-hand side, I don't know if this is your right, but this is my left-hand side, I see a huge planet. And we're talking humongous, like it's covering the entire sky, and it's pretty much on us. It's not even coming towards us, it's on us. And it's massive. I could feel the heat emanating from it. I could see the ribbons of fire that are jumping off of this planet. It looks like Mars, but in my spirit I felt like it wasn't Mars. It's massive, it's volcanic, and the flames are bright red with fire dancing. But this was the most important part of the dream, and that was the fact that I felt like I was being pulled towards this planet, but not so much in a physical sense, but more like in a spiritual sense. I felt like my soul was being lifted from my body towards the sky.
Suddenly now I'm being pulled towards this planet, slowly, and I'm like, what's going on?
Because when evil is in your heart, that planet is evil and is going to magnetically pull your ass straight to it. So the Bible goes on to say that the tares will be burned first, and the dead in Christ is going to be raised first. They are going to burn in that false religion. Strap the news.